Hey, hi guys. Yeah, I haven't had a vlog for goodness me, for well, 4 or 5 days now. I've been sick, and so has Clara. So I've always had boats all my life, and I was always unlucky to go to sea, whether it be a fishing boat, a speedboat, or a yacht, a sailing boat, up on the Murray coast, without a name. So hence the name Clara. I name every boat I have or had, and every car I've got. I've only got 2 cars just now. But yeah, so here's Clara. She's a Z4 BMW. She's a 2005 model, 2.5 litre, and I've had Clara for 16 years. Now, the summer's fast approaching, and I know for a fact that some of you guys have got Z4s or other BMWs, and the hood don't work. And that's a major problem, because basically BMW will want to take the hood off to probably put in another motor. Yeah, and that's going to cost you 3 or 4 grand. Now, just now, you can pick Clara up on the internet for what, 2 grand, 2.5 grand, and she's a cracker. As I say, I've had her for like, well, say it must be about 16 years now. So I'm just going to give you a 5-minute vlog to show you how to fix it. And it's not a hard fix, it's time consuming. So basically what you have to do is you have to relocate the motor. So this is what you're looking at. So the motor that puts the hood down in these things is bomb proof. This is indestructible. So this is a motor that I'm doing up just now from a friend's BMW. Yeah, so basically it's held in by a series of clips at the bottom, but you can take this to bits easy. The problem is balancing it, so you have to balance it, if not it'll shake. You know, it'll do the job, but it'll shake, but they're indestructible, these things. So it could be that, so when Clara, when hers broke, I took this out and I just soaked it in a small tub of oil for like 3 days, and then I took it out. I didn't even have electrical cleaner, I just had WD-40, and it was just normal engine oil that I soaked her in. Took her out, I got WD-40, sprayed it, no electrical cleaner, banged it back in, and hey presto, off she went. And so I'd done that, how many years ago? 13 years ago, and the motor is still working. Yeah, the same, the original motor, but as I say, this is a friend's, but you can get them off of eBay for like 35 quid, but they are indestructible. So basically, your motor in the Z4 is located down here. It's down here, inside here. That's where your motor is, it's down in here. And so what happens is, there's actually drain holes, so the water comes from the roof, comes down and goes down here, and then there's small drain holes just inside there that will, in front of the rear wheel, that will drain any excess water. However, these drain holes are minuscule, really minuscule, and so they clog up with leaves and dirt and muck and all the rest of the rubbish that's going around. So what I would say is, you need to relocate your motor. Now, I'm a nurse, I'm not a mechanic, but I've done it, and I'm 6 foot, 6'1", and it's a task, but it can be done, and it'll save you a whole heap of money. And if you have problems doing it, then give me a bell in the comments, and I'll take you through it. So there's where your motor is, guys, down in there, all the way in there. So the only way to get to that motor really is to take this off, to take the whole hood off. That's what BMW is going to do. And then drain the water out. But there's an easier way. Well, there's not an easier way, but you need to relocate that motor into the boot, because you could clear the drain holes and what have you, put the motor back in, and you're going to have the same problem maybe in a couple of years time. Yeah, so I don't want headaches around the rest of it. I'm not a perfectionist, I'm a realist, and a just what do you call it, a guy that is practical really. So what I done was, that's the motor. That's what you're looking at. That is this motor. That's this motor here, and that's the way it sits. So that's what that is. So this bit here is screwed on here. There's 2 screw holes here, and that bit there, the hydraulic pump, is screwed on here this barrel's round, this bit, you see it's turning, yeah, that drives the motor. And in here is a reservoir. That's the reservoir for the hydraulic fluid, yeah? And then here's your electrical connections for it. Now, the problem is getting to it, yeah? So, what you have to do is, you have to take this shelf out, yeah? It's not hard, there's just a few bolts and the like that you take it out with. And then, once it's out, you have to pull back this carpet, and as you can see, look, that's giving way there. So there's a hole in there, yeah? And your pump is down there. But if you go into the actual boot, and remember I'm 6'1", you have to put your hand down in there, and this is held onto the body by tie wraps. And you'll find that it's in this cup. So this cup should be down there. And there's where the tie wraps are there. So it's tie wrapped onto the body here, and the same on the other side. How do you get to that then? So, what I done was, I went to Halfords and got what I think they call it an oscilloscope. It costs about 60 quid. And it's like a little TV thing with a camera. You know, they use them in medicine, you know, for endoscopies. Like a camera that goes down your gullet and up your back passage, so they can see what the problem is, you know, whether it's a lesion, a cancer, or what have you. So, so I used one of them, but I bought it out of Halfords. I didn't use the one in the hospital. I used the one in Halfords for 65 quid. And I popped it down, once I took all this out, and I popped it down there. And I could see it. And when you go down, if you do that, you'll see that this thing is fully submerged in water, and that's your problem. If it's the motor. Now, there's another thing to check, because it might not be the motor, so do the other check first. So I got that down in there, and then I got a scalpel. I ordered the scalpel off of Amazon, and basically I felt the tie wraps, because you'll feel it when you go down there, and I put the scalpel down and cut the tie wraps, and then just pulled it out, relocated it there, and yeah, job done. And that's basically it. You can, if you want, you can make a little housing and you don't see that or what have you, you know. But I'm kind of thinking, well, if it ever happens again, you know, I just want to get at it as quick as possible, because Clara's my daily ride, you know. I use it for work. It sits in the street. It's not garaged, and she's immaculate. You know, BMW have done a good job with the paintwork and what have you. It hasn't perished in the slightest. But and it also, when the roof's down, it now allows me to rod this. I put a rod down there. Now you can put that in a BMW and they'll do it for you, and they'll charge you an arm and a leg, or you can put it in a garage, and they'll say, oh yes, we'll blow it out with compressed air or what have you. And you'll also read on the internet that if you dabble with coat hangers and all this good rubbish, that you're going to wreck it. Well, it's an old car. It's £2 grand. It's £2.5 grand. It's a runaround. It's a fun machine in the summer, and you can buy one with a broken roof and basically sort it for next to nothing. So I use this. That's all I use. That is you can see it. It's just a coat hanger. Yeah. And I pop that. It's a coat hanger. And I basically pop that down in there, and you can feel the drain. You can actually feel it. Then I rod it. I just rod it like that. I rod it. And that's it. And you can feel the drain as you go down. You can feel it. And so that's it. Yeah. £65. I got that from one of the cleaners at my work, and she gave me that, and it's done the job. And it continues to do the job. And that's kind of it. There's other things you can check. So if you're not sure it's the motor, rather than go to all that first, if you can't hear anything, so check a few things. So here at the back again in the boot, that shelf, there's a little switch up here, yeah, and this shelf must be fully located to allow the hood to come down. So this, it's a little, looks like a little circlip, and only when the shelf is into that little groove and pushes the circlip does it make a connection, a circuit, and so it allows the hood to operate. And that's basically it, guys. It's not rocket science. It's nothing. It's just, it is what it is. It's a quick fix if you want to keep this car pristine and what have you. You know, and you keep it in a garage, and you're an absolute fanatic, BMW fanatic. then yeah, fair enough. But if not, it's an easy fix. Now, there's another thing to check before you go pulling out motors and all that good stuff, is the wiring for the hood. So obviously the hood is up and it comes back, and every time it comes back it will, or it can, and it does, it'll break the wire in here, in this bit here. So I'll show you it. So we'll go up, we'll take her halfway up, guys. Yeah, so I have to start the car a minute. Yeah, and then here, so that's me, I'm going to wait to put the hood up. So there you go, the light's on, yeah. And there she goes, the hood's coming up. Right, now let's pause it there, stop. Okay, so this is another thing to check, the wire. Where is it now? There's a wire in here, guys, and you have to check the wire. So where this angle here is, this bit here, the wire had broken on Clara's, yeah. So basically, again, I just stripped it back, the wire, no fancy connections or what have you, and taped it up. And that was like, well, it's got to be 14 years ago. So that's all you need. So if you see one, these things are bomb proof, and if there's a fault or if it's not right up, there you go, that's what will happen. You'll get the flashing light. But Clara's, there you go, yeah. And if you want her down, there should be a continuous light. There you go, it's going down. Yeah, and there she goes, and then she clicks into the back. Click, there you go. And that's it. So we'll put her back up because it's freezing. So yeah, you can sit and do that all day.